Hello there. I'm just checking Twitch and stuff. Hold on. Hello there. How's it going? So, excuse me. I'm doing something a little bit different this stream. I'm going to be trying to, I'm going to be covering a bunch of funny stories that I found that came out of Japan this week. And I'm going to try and do it in a kind of funny and like comedic way. Kind of like a reaction type stuff. It's like, there's very little scripting. I've just kind of got like a bunch of articles lined up. And I'll just kind of cover them and be funny along the way. Hopefully this is fun to watch. Hopefully this is like fun to like engage with. I've never done anything like this before. It's kind of a mix of like stand-up, skits, reaction. So I'm not nervous. It was just because it's doing something so brand new. And I've only been streaming for 6 weeks. And so getting used to doing just chatting rather than games, because I feel games is way easier to just kind of play and do. So we will see how this goes. Hopefully this is really fun. I'm going to chop this up. It's going to be on loads of different social media as well. I'm probably going to start Instagram and TikTok as well. So I think this stuff would kind of go down really well there. Let me just prepare. Alright, so we're going to jump right in. And let's just see how this goes. If it's a train wreck, then that's also kind of funny in its own way. So, without further ado, let's begin our first story. So, a weasel has been breaking into an elementary school to steal children's shoes in Japan. And we actually have video footage of the perp. So we're going to roll clip. You see here's a normal elementary school. Cinematically zoom in. Here comes the perp. And it is a weasel. You see it's like it's inspecting the goods because like, what am I looking at? Second shelf? Nah. First shelf? Yes. Third one down? Fourth one down? What's he gonna pick? And it's the white shoe, and off he goes. And it's such a random thing to come across. And it's funny that he like stops, inspects the different shoes available, and he's like, these white ones, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And so, because obviously this got picked up on the school cameras and stuff like that, the news crew went down and they interviewed various people. I believe this is a school teacher, and he's like giving his take on it. It's all in Japanese, and obviously there's no English here, so we're not going to like listen in. You can see like the weasel steals the stuff, and then we go and interview the school president. School president, Mr. President, and this is his Secret Service bodyguard. The weasel was actually not there to steal the shoe. The shoe is a distraction. This is an assassination attempt for the school president here. We're actually busting an assassination crime. No, like the school. So they interview like the school president, headmaster, principal. We got there in the end. What's really funny to me is if we just like skip a few frames forward, you can see, oh, he's got a gaming chair. The AK Racing gaming chair. I'm unfamiliar with the brand, but for some reason that's the chair that he decided to purchase for the headmaster's office. Well, now you can really tell I'm British. And you can see if I back up a little bit more, he's got a fairly decent monitor there, and a nice webcam. You know, this school principal's decked out. You know, I imagine like off screen he's actually got 10 other screens, and they're his weasel assault task force. And he's like been mapping weasel attacks across different prefectures. He's been waiting for this moment for his entire life. See, the Parent-Teacher Association Board were really against his anti-weasel stance and his weasel defense budget spending, but now it's all paying off for him. Like, look at this face. He's saying, "I told you so." Good for him in his sick gaming chair. As you can see, like, the Weasel is going in. He's infiltrated the building. He makes off with the shoe. I don't know why they're showing this picture. This isn't the collection of all of the shoes that the Weasel has stolen. This individual Weasel has not stolen this many shoes. It's not like the principal had been recording this and he waited until the Weasel amassed this many shoes and then called the cops. No, this is just like a picture of some shoes outside. I believe it's quite difficult to make out because my Japanese isn't perfect. But basically, this is a fairly common thing apparently, where weasels or other kind of rodents of that size break in and they steal shoes. And I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong on this, that this amount of shoes was stolen by a group of weasels in a certain prefecture. I tried to research it as best I could, but I even Google Translate was not helping on this one. But the perpetrator, the suspect in this clip, was not the perpetrator of this many shoes stolen. Though arguably the weasel that did steal this many shoes has clearly been giving a course. So if you keep jumping ahead, you can see like the weasel has like got the shoe and then he's like dropped it on the property. Maybe that's when the cops showed up. You know, he just dropped the merchandise and like made a run for it. You know, the police ran up and they were like, drop the shoe, get on the ground. And then obviously the weasel runs away because that's what the suspects do. You can actually see like the weasel has dropped some additional shoes here. Like on the way to his weasel lair. Maybe this is like a trademark, you know, like how certain gangs have like graffiti up. Maybe this is like the weasel's calling card. This is the Weasel Shoe Distribution Center, or it's where the Weasel Shoe Cartel meet up. They trade secrets on where they're gonna hit next and collaborate on like what their next attack plan is gonna be. And it's so funny that there's like stranded merchandise where like the cops showed up and the weasel just drop it and run. But you'll be glad to know the weasel was detained and released. The suspect is not facing any charges. He's back into the community. Law and order going exactly as intended. He's back on the streets, stealing more shoes, fencing more shoe products to the weasel community. Let's move on to the next story. Oh, as I mess around with the video. Next. This story is so weird. The steamy card game. Is sitting in a sauna too boring for you? Have you ever wished you could play a competitive board game while sweating heavily? Well, boy, do I have a product for you. Sauna Masters, they just don't get it. It's a two-player card battle where each player vies for Master of the Sauna. That was a quote. And for just $14, you too can fight your friends for control of the sauna. Now, if you're buying this game and you have friends, and those friends want to go to the sauna with you, and then those friends also want to play a card game with you in the sauna, that Venn diagram gets real small real quick. But you can see that this lady is having a wonderful time here. Even though she's not sweating whatsoever. It's definitely fake news, you know? But we do have more images, and wait for this next one. They're having a great time. See, they're laughing, they're joking, it's not super awkward at all. And again, like, no sweat on the bodies. Which is, you know, obviously I'm ripping on it, I'm trying to be funny. But I imagine, like, this is probably a real sauna that they've taken these images in. But obviously they didn't want to turn it into something crazy and weird. Oh hey, thank you for the follow, Count Dice. That's a cool name. But you can see that they're trying to play this card game in front of the cameras and it's trying to like not be weird, even though it's super weird. So this competitive card game, it sees you fighting for control of the temperature and humidity of the sauna, right? So So the ultimate goal of this competitive game being, and I quote, it's reaching ultimate relaxation first. So, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a different type of game to me. But anyway, so this competitive card game that you play in the sauna, it has special cards that have special effects. These special cards are called Heat Wave or Add Steam, and they physically force the player to perform those actions in the sauna, like turning the sauna experience into like a real life survival game. So I just want to paint a picture of what this would be like. So let's say I'm in charge of the ad campaign for this, right? I would show this beautiful sauna, ryokan onsen in Japan. You know, it's got the golden trees, the red leaves, this beautiful paved way. You go into the sauna, you're in with your partner. As you know, you got two beautiful models here. And you know, you're getting ready to go into the sauna, and then you turn around to your partner, you break out a pair of cards and go, "It's time to duel." Now, I don't know about you, but to me that sounds like real marriage material. It's just so, this is only the kind of product that you get in Japan, and it's just so humorous. And like, I don't know who would buy this, but it's made, so they've clearly done market research for it. And we can actually take a better look at the cards here. And like, so understandably, these games, they're pretty fast. They're generally between like 5 to 10 minutes because, you know, you're going to be in a sauna. But like, what's so funny is on the back of the cards, and I am not joking here, there's a safety warning to players. And I translated the safety warning using Google. And like my basic Japanese capability. Basically, the safety warning basically goes, the thrill of the game is so intense that it can cloud your senses, so players are reminded to not get too caught up in the excitement that they forget to hydrate. And it's just so funny. So like, we can actually get a real look at the cards for proper. And you can actually see like they're pretty high quality. And if you're wondering like this whole time, hang on, how can playing cards be in a sauna? Like, they're made of paper. Wouldn't they just basically disintegrate and get like floppy? But you can actually look at the cards here, and yes, they are actually waterproof, and they're normal card size, so they're not weird card size, they're just like normal stuff. Again, you can kind of see like the proportion here, and like it's just so funny that this is a product that exists. It kind of reminds me of like, everyone's seen that picture of the Japanese lady in high heel shoes, and it's in the rain, and at the end of her shoes is an umbrella, like a small umbrella on the top of her shoes. like that is a product that exists, but I don't know if people actually use it or if it's just a meme. And it's kind of similar with this game. Like, are people gonna buy this? So like, obviously for Westerners, you should not buy this game and go to like an onsen and play this. You'll just get kicked out. I imagine this is predominantly for like the private sauna rooms if you're like in a fancy hotel room or something like that. But if you're the kind of person who's paying like, well, let's be honest, $1,000 a night, are you gonna be the target audience for this? Maybe you're playing this stripped sauna game. I don't know. But then you've already stripped. You're in a sauna. Anyway. I mean, I can only imagine what an expansion pack would look like this game. Bruh, this entire game seems like a meme. For real. It's so wild that this like card sauna game exists. But I mean, like, if you go back, you can see they're having a great time. So, so like, this is clearly, you know, when they were doing the market research for this, I can only imagine the business meetings of where they've had to play test the game. So the company bill is coming back, and it's like, so how many times did you guys go to the spa? And it's all listed as market research. Just the wildest company expenditure list for doing the development for this card game. It's so hilarious to me that this product exists. And the card game is only like $15, which I suppose is pretty expensive for cards. because it's such a niche product, I guess it kind of makes sense. But yeah, we're gonna go to our next story, and I've called it the Whopper Shocker. So get this, Burger King, and I'm using the precise terminology that they used in the Japanese article here. I'm not like embellishing this at all. Burger King Japan teamed up with the Rice Merchant Collective that exists to create a brand new Whopper. Now this Whopper is so spicy, I've mosaic blurred the burger for fear of upsetting my predominantly Western sensibilities and audience. So brace yourself for the full reveal of what the combined knowledge of Burger King Japan, a multi-million-dollar like branch of Burger King, and the rice merchants of Japan, just think about what they worked together to produce. Embrace yourself for the reveal. How underwhelming is this, right? These two huge companies come together, and yet I added the anime emphasis lines just to try and give some excitement to this disappointing burger. But the burger is quite literally a normal bun with just a little bit of rice in the middle. And as I was browsing Japanese Twitter, just because I was trying to get like screenshots of like their reactions to this, and basically you just had a lot of Japanese people kind of doing the the Japanese is this anime meme? You know, like with like the butterfly and stuff like that. Basically just everyone was like, hang on, why does this exist? This offers no value whatsoever. Like, you had so many, like, there's so much opportunity to combine Burger King with rice merch. Yeah, like, at least stand out. Yeah, it'd be better to market as a big-ass sushi Whopper. Absolutely. Oh, the Twitch chat isn't working properly. Give me a second. I had to shorten it. You'll just have to go over my face in the meantime. There we go. How about that? You can cover my face now. Like, you can cover the Burger King Japan shame for this hideous product. So, what's so funny is you have Burger King Japan and the rice merchants of Japan, and they came together and this is what they made. So, yeah, like, that rice is supposed to be there. That is the decision that these multi-million-dollar companies came together and signed and agreed upon. So, and Japanese Twitter were questioning why this exists, and I am quite literally asking the same thing. So, here's some real talk. I've worked in Japan for a period of time, and I'm aware of what it's like to work in a corporate company. Basically, trying to get corporate or management to agree to anything unique, anything different, it's gonna take like a year, maybe 2 years. And when you have two big companies working together, it takes forever to decide anything. So what's really funny to me is these two big companies work together, and basically this is what they come up with. And I can only imagine like these crazy wacky ideas, like a crazy sushi burger that they had, but it got so brought down by corporate mismanagement that after 2 years, this is what they came up with. And they probably like spent $1 million on consultants as well, and for focus test groups, and this is what they produced. Someone's passion went out of control here, for real. Like, definitely that guy's apartment when he goes home, it's just beige. 1 year of begging for this is crazy, for real. So, what's funny about this is that I am aware of a more unique rice burger from Moss Burger, which is a fairly like well-known brand there. So I went and dug up a picture, and this is what I thought that they would like produce. It's Burger King and the rice merchants, two big companies. You'd think they'd produce something like cool and unique, but no. This is from an independent burger chain, and they came up with this instead. So this is a rice burger. You can see like the bun is made of compacted rice, which has then been toasted and then been stuffed with meat and like vegetables. And like, this is way more cool and interesting. Now, I think when you bite into this, it would just fall apart completely and like get all over you. but at least it's interesting that you'd at least go and try this once. and take like the picture for like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, because it's unique and it's interesting, right? It's way more interesting than this disappointment. Like, if I was coming up with this, I'd probably do like burger patty on the bottom, a rice like middle piece that's rice mixed with like fried gherkin and onion, and give it like some flavor, and then like another beef patty on top, just to give it something interesting, you know, like. But it just blows my mind that they work together and this is the best they come up with, and like an independent chain just does this and like wins Twitter. We'll move on to the next story. So, a specific fast food restaurant has started to like pull back on the amount of fried food, so they banned onion rings. That looks like a nice taco. Yeah, that does look like a nice taco. Yeah. It probably works the same as well. Definitely overfilled, but it would be nice. So this fast food restaurant, they banned onion rings and introduced a healthier option instead. So as we continue with the fast food controversy, so like one of my personal favorite sides is definitely onion rings. So you can see like they've got fries, which obviously is always good. We've got like croquettes here and croquettes there. We got a weird corn dish. I don't understand the fascination with corn in general in fast food places. You see they've got like some miso, different types of miso. But so their healthy option here is these fried lotus root things. So, but they're not dipped in batter, they're just like straight up dipped. So if you never had like a lotus root before, it kind of looks like this. It's kind of like carrot, but not as wet. Yeah, onion rings are the best side. You can fight me in the comments. But the lotus root is like the starchy vegetable commonly found in Asia. If you go to like an Asian supermarket, an Asian store, you can find them as... They're pretty easy to find raw, but you can find them in like chips or like crisps. Onion rings are good, but mozzarella sticks though? Is this where I reveal my darkest secret to Twitch? Is this where I reveal that I actually don't really like melted cheese? Like, if I'm gonna have cheese, I like it in solid blockular form. I prefer my cheese solid rather than melted. And it's so funny, like when I share this with people, they look at me like I'm such a monster. Like, I'm fine with melted cheese on burgers, but like in general, yeah, I just like really strong cheddar in solid blocks. I don't eat the whole block. I'm not a monster. Yeah, they made this out of lotus root, which is actually like one of my favorite vegetables. I absolutely love it. And it's actually, you see it comes out the fryer and it looks pretty good. It looks pretty tasty to me. Goat or yak cheese solid is goated. No pun intended. Nice. You can see like they pull them out of the fryer with no batter on, and they look pretty nice and good. And people on Japanese Twitter, they're saying like, hey, it's actually crispy on the outside and really like moist in the middle. So like, I'd be really interested in trying these. They're pretty expensive. They're like $3 and you get like 5, but they're pretty big, you know? I think they'd be really fun to try. It's unfortunate like you can't really get that in the West. But yeah, I've tried goat's cheese before and I thought that was really nice. I've not tried yak cheese. It'd be nice. I do have, near where I live, we have like a specific cheese lady. That's what I call her. She's got a real business name, but I just call her the cheese lady. And she does really nice cheese. I think she did this goat. Next time I'm in, I'll ask if she's got any yak cheese. That might be like a weird question. But yeah. So next. So, as we were talking about melted cheese, the 1 kilogram cheese volcano, which is a real pizza that was just launched this week by Domino's in Japan. So, no joke, like the picture doesn't make up like the size. Because you're looking at this pizza going, come on, that's not that big. This is pretty lame. I thought you said this is a kilogram. Well, you want to try this? Yeah. So apparently this cheesy crater, it comes like solid on top, so you can like pierce it, like kind of like a fried egg, and then the cheese like explodes and like erupts over the pizza. But you might be looking at this going, come on, that's not that big. Well, I actually found a Japanese lady for scale. Look at this. Look at this. Look how big it is. It's a full... They had to develop a brand new box just to house this monstrosity. So, like... Just look how big it is. And each one is a full kilogram. So just imagine you're the Uber Eats or Domino's delivery guy for 10 of these. Let's say you're going to an apartment block and they're having a party and they order 10. Like, that guy's carrying like 10 kilograms worth of pizza up and down those stairs. Like Uber Eats bro would be jacked by the end of the month. Obviously, providing he doesn't eat and consume a kilogram of pizza each shift. But I try this one, yeah, I'd give it a go. I wouldn't be... Because it's like, if we look at it again, it's predominantly just like mozzarella and like pretty plain. So like it's actually... What's funny about this is, so like how does this equal a kilogram worth of pizza and cheese? The funny thing is, the crater, so like the center bit, that's 300 grams of cheese, and the other 700 grams is mozzarella. It's like, that's an incredible amount of cheese. That's your kind of workout, carrying 10 kilograms of pizza. I would give this a go. I'm not that... For me, I'm more into... if it had like pepperoni or something like that, and it's more... And there's more like the tomato sauce, I'd be way more interested in that. Maybe it's stuffed as well. Maybe it is. I couldn't make full sense of the article other than this. Plains, though, you can put your own spices on. Yeah, true. I do prefer going for like the full-on pepperoni pizza if I'm gonna have that, or the like the mixed Mediterranean vegetable pizzas. Those tend to be my favorite ways, for like a really thin crust. But so here's another controversial take. I legitimately believe pizza is overrated. I think pizza is so overrated. Sure, you're gonna put on chili flakes. I can't take a lot of spicy food. I actually had... There's this one time when I was at my Chinese friend's house, and they were cooking something, and I was like, dude, what's that smell? That smells so strong and so spicy. And it's like, oh, it's mapo tofu. And I was like, what is that? And he's like, oh, you should give it a go. And so I tasted it. And it was so spicy to my plain English taste buds that I lost the ability to speak for 10 minutes because it was so spicy. It was so spicy that I could basically see through time and space. It was ridiculously hot. We can go for special topping. Yeah, like this thing is a kilogram. So this is a huge pizza. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm assuming individuals don't buy this and consume it on their own. I assume this is like a party pizza. But like, if I had a choice between a pizza and a burger, it's a burger all of the time. What do you usually do when you eat something really spicy? I've seen the videos online, where is it like Hot Ones or whatever, when they drink milk, because it's got like capsaicin and like the milk counters that. But I know they don't eat that much spicy stuff, to be honest. If you think mapo tofu is bad, my Thai friends put 50 chilies in this papaya salad, and I'm Nepali and we live for spice. Yeah, so like Thai spices, Thai spices are just way too intense for me. I think I had, what is it? The Thai green curry, and that's like a pretty spicy one. My brother ordered it once, and I tasted it, and it basically ruined the rest of my meal because I couldn't taste anything else. It like just completely blew up inside of my head. It's like the Thai spice is just so incredibly strong, way stronger than what I'm used to. If I'm having like curry type stuff, I'd normally have like the Indian lamb sagwala, which is kind of like a spinach spicy curry. That's kind of like my favorite kind of go-to hot food. Green curry ain't that spicy though. It's legitimately the hottest thing I've ever tried. So that probably goes a long way to letting you know about what my tolerance levels are. Yeah, I have improved over the years. I can take more and more spicy stuff now than I could back then. So maybe I would be better off. But yeah, let's move to the next story. So, if you wanted that cheese pizza, I imagine you might also be interested in them. We gotta get that tolerance up. So you can buy the Shiba Inu hot water bottle. Chat to me, they're like, what the heck is that? So this is a hot water bottle in the shape of a Shiba Inu that's sleeping on the couch, and you can see like she's hugging it. It looks very nice. So, wait until you find out how much this costs. But look how cute it is. And like, if you're just walking past this, and it was like on the couch, and it just caught your eye, you would be kind of like, hang on, you would do a double take, and you'd be like, is that real? It looks like pretty convincing. You know, like if you just like catch it the corner of your eye. I mean, but also like, look at his face. It's so content. Like that's a really good dog sleeping face that they've got going on there. It's damn real. So it's damn real doesn't stop there. So here's like the back of the water bottle. That's why you kind of slip the water bottle in and like zip it up and all that. But apparently they put in a ton of money into researching the fur of the Shiba Inu. Is that real? Yeah, it's 100% real. And so apparently they put a lot of money into researching the fur of a Shiba Inu so they could mimic that feel on the fabric. Now, compared to the Sauna card game I covered earlier, just imagine the expense sheet of whether to keep going to like dog cafes in Japan with Shiba Inus just to kind of test to get like, oh, we've got to go back and do more testing on the dog fur. We're just not getting it right. We're gonna have to do another 10 visits. So I've never touched a Shiba Inu in my life, so I can't confirm. So I'll have to dispatch my own reporter to the scene for confirmation. Hang on. Oh, he's boarding the flight to Tokyo as we speak, so so we'll get confirmation before the end of stream. So how much do you think this water bottle costs? Because it's pretty surprising. Because like, how much is a normal water bottle? Like $10, $15, $20 max, like a really nice one or something like that. How much do you think this hot water bottle costs in US? Like it's double. This thing costs $40. They've got to get all that money back for all those trips to like the dog cafes, you know, all the research and development that went into testing, and it's $40. Yeah, that's how much work and research they put in to try and get the feel of the fur to be similar to the actual dogs. And like this thing, it's about 40 centimeters by 35 centimeters. As you can see in the picture above, like it's kind of big, but not that big. Yeah, you can totally see that reaction when you find out it's $40. But they put a lot of effort into it, true. But the story doesn't stop there. Look at these. So, from the same company, you can buy these Alaskan Malamute puppy full-size cushions. And so, with these cushions, right, you have to buy all 3 of them, and you have to buy them in installments. So you can't just like buy one or buy all 3 at once. When you buy these, you sign up to a plan, that charges you $30 every month for the next 3 months, and each month in the mail you receive one of these Alaskan Malamute puppies. Yeah, it kind of looks like, when I first saw this, I had to be like, is that a seal? Like, I wouldn't say like it's a dog, and Brittany is like, is that a polar bear? Is it a dog? Is a polar bear? No, it's Superman. Like, no, it's this like weird kind of like puppy seal shape because it's so round. It kind of looks like a Pokemon. It kind of looks like Snorlax. But like, just the idea that you have to sign up to like a payment plan and pay like $30 a month for 3 months to receive this. Yeah, like if I didn't tell you it was like an Alaskan puppy, you'd kind of think it's like a bear thing, maybe. It was pretty funny. And what's so funny about this is that the products don't stop there. we have. I'm not sponsored. I'm not shilling these products. There's no affiliate links. But basically, you can also buy these Shiba Inu cheek mochi pouches. So if you don't know what mochi is a rice-based dish in Japan. And mochi is known for being like really soft and bouncy. It's like really chewy. And so basically, they made these kind of like pouches. Now, I was really struggling with the translation for this because it was like pouches. So they're like a clutch, maybe like a kind of handbag type thing. Like maybe you can put your phone in. Maybe you can do something like that. No, I think these are just like they're kind of like almost like fidget spinner type stuff. Where basically these pouches exist just for you to kind of like knead them and like just be comforted by them. I don't know. These are also pretty expensive. Like each one of these, they're like $15 each. No, they're not water bottles. They're just pouches. They're just like there's nothing to them. I tried to find like more images, like maybe they like open up. Yeah, like no, this isn't a water bottle. This is nothing. This is just like a thing. Like I couldn't find any more information about it, and it's so weird that they exist. And like if I had the choice between the water bottle, the puppies, the pouch, honestly, I'd go with the puppies. Like the puppies are the most expensive, but at least they kind of look cute. The Shiba Inu, like it's funny, but I think it's funny like the first time you see it, and the more you see it, the more kind of deranged it becomes. But at least with like the puppies, they're kind of like a more stuffed animal. Like, and these pouches are just weird. Yeah, the puppies work for Brittany as well. Yeah, which makes sense because they are like the most kind of familiar in terms of how they like, in what we would consider like useful. Same, but the payment plan though, I know it's so stupid. I can't. Part of me gets why they do the payment plan, because it would be quite fun to receive a puppy in the mail every month for 3 months. Like I get the gist. I just don't. Who would sign up to that? I don't know. But maybe it's a really popular thing, and like this is a thing like they regularly do. I don't know. It's pretty weird to receive puppies in the mail, but but I know like in Japan, like it's quite difficult to own pets. Yeah, if you've got like apartment renting issues and stuff like that. So maybe this is like a surrogate pet. That is actually, when I was reading the marketing material for this, that was why they were kind of pitching that. Oh, so why can't you have pets in Japan? So if you're in apartments and stuff. So what if you're used to like pets in the West, you can take the dog out, it can like go to the bathroom outside. In Japan, if a dog goes up against a lamppost, don't they keep algae as pets? But in Japan, it is actually written in the law that if you own a dog and a dog like goes up to a lamppost and does its business, you have to get a bottle of water and wash that away. So like there's a lot of effort that goes into owning a pet in Japan, and basically a lot of apartments just straight up say no, you can't have animals. And if you have a pet and you're trying to find an apartment, your ability to find an apartment is so much harder, and it's often like more expensive. Like there might be like a broader cultural reason behind it. I'm not familiar. I just know that like basically it's super hard to like rent an apartment and have pets. You're way better off if you own your own house and then have pets. That's why you don't see a ton of like animal owners, particularly in like the big cities. I think it probably more lax in the countryside. But yeah. Next, so bear karate. So, there's a fairly recent bear attack that involved. I'm laughing. Obviously, it's a bit of a tragic story, but we'll get to the funny bit soon. I promise. So there was a recent bear attack that involved police officers, and it led to a local being interviewed. And this local kind of said like this offhand remark, and he said, "Oh yeah, well you know when bears attack, they usually attack using their left paw." and I was like, what? And I was like, so I looked into this and I did some research. So apparently there's this like Eastern Asian kind of folk wisdom that says bears are left-handed because they use their right hand for eating honey. Therefore, the right paw is tastier, and the left paw, which they use for fighting, is tougher. Now, you can comment on the wisdom of such scientific reporting, but like where credit is due, the journalists of the actual story, they did investigate, they did speak to like bear researchers, like official accredited bear researchers at universities, and basically they were like, well, you know, we appreciate the folklore, but there's no clear evidence that bears are inherently left-handed. And so I will sum up the research that they did for you. And basically the research concluded that if a bear attacks you, it's just gonna fuck you up regardless. It doesn't really matter which paw comes at you first. Yeah, you just gotta have a shield on your right arm just to be safe. Yeah, like if a bear comes at you, like the bear's gonna get you. It's like there's that social media meme of where they were asking women, would you rather be in a forest with a bear or a man? And then the women were saying a bear. And I was like, dude, you've never seen a bear then. Like, but to get to the karate bit, when I came across this story, because I thought it would be interesting to cover there, where there's this story that bears are left-handed. And if you actually look at Winnie the Pooh, he eats honey with his left hand. So, but to go to the bear karate story specifically, so in this segment I try and cover like stories from like the past week, but it reminded me of this classic story from 2016. In 2016, there's a 63-year-old man from Gunma Prefecture who found himself in a showdown with a black bear. Like this guy, I think he was out fishing, and this black bear just like burst out of the tree line and just went for him. And so if you're wondering like, oh, how... This is kind of like a small bear I'm showing here. But an adult black bear is over 2 meters tall. That's nearly 7 feet tall. So this guy was out fishing and this bear just came out of nowhere. And so this bear just like charges him down. And apparently, this old man, 63 years old, got into a grappling match with the bear. And the bear couldn't overpower this guy because, get this, that old 63-year-old man, he was a karate master. And so this bear like went after this like karate master, and he's like grappling with him on the floor. they're like tussling by the lakeside, and it's so funny because it's like the bear couldn't overwhelm him. And just imagine the bear's response to this. Because the bear in his head is probably seeing this old man, and the bear's like, this is easy dinner, this. Was the man's name Baki? Unfortunately it wasn't. 7 feet man is better than a 7-foot bear. I gotta teach that woman some general knowledge. I just want you to put yourself in the bear's mindset. This bear has like stalked this old man, and he's like committed to this act of, hey, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go after this old man. This is gonna be an easy dinner for me. And like, so this bear like waltzes out, and he's like, oh, look at this old geezer, I'm just gonna knock him about. This is gonna be nothing. And then like suddenly the bear's in like a headlock. The bear would be like, what the fuck? This isn't how this goes, old man. You know, it's like when a young boy tries to fight with his dad, and then like his dad just like knocks him out. And so like this man is just fighting back against this bear with his bare hands. And he's like grappling, and like as you listen to the old man's recounts, he's like, yeah, I was grappling with the bear, and then I just decided to hit him in his critical weak points. So this bear, clearly not used to someone like fighting back after he's been hit in like the face, the eyes, and the nose. Like the bear just like gets off the guy, completely backs down, tail between his legs, and runs away. So unfortunately, there's no footage of this happening because it was in like a pretty rural like area. But it's pretty safe to say that the bear went home and told his bear pals, like, not mess around with any other old men in the area ever again. And so like this is a real story because the guy checked into a hospital and he had bear wounds. Like he had like scratches and like deep cuts all over his arms and stuff. but like, man versus bear, man wins barehanded. And what's really interesting about this, because obviously like the bear got hit in the face, is that because it's a black bear though, if the bear has black eyes, at least they won't be easy to spot. So you know, so like when he went back to his bear buddies, he wouldn't be mocked for being beaten up by an old man. Bro, imagine going on a walk and you just see like a bear and an old guy fighting by the lakeside. Imagine just like you're driving like over the bridge and you're like looking at this scenic, you know, river, and you just see like this bear being like having the crap beaten out of it by this old guy. What chances we survive a bear attack? Like, he's gonna let us live or not? So I actually looked into it when I was doing the research, where like the research basically just said if you get into a bear attack, they're just gonna kill you, which is pretty like common because bears. So I was reading that the bears, when they're attacking a human, they're quite logical. The first thing they go is for the eyes. They go for like, they know how a human like interprets the world, so they go for the eyes and the throat. And so like normally when people get mauled by a bear, that's where the injuries are. It's to the face. It's pretty because like when a bear goes for a human, they're pretty much after the food element. They're not really just like killing for the sake of it. They're doing it because it's like, oh well, this is dinner, isn't it? I mean, but yeah, like what's funny is like the bear clearly sustained enough damage that he was like, oh, it's not worth it. This. Yeah, I was reading in the research like that your best approach is to basically get on the ground with your ass in the air and your hands behind your head. And so like if you try and play really passive, that's your greatest chance of them leaving you alone. If you try and like fight the bear, you probably just like antagonize it. And so like so my take on this, on the reality of this story is, I don't think that this guy was fighting an adult bear. I think this guy was fighting like a fairly juvenile bear, and that's why the bear didn't have the confidence and couldn't overwhelm him. Because like, if you look at these bears, you think, oh, he's just a fat, chubby teddy bear. No, this is all muscle. You know, like there's no way a human would overpower a bear at full strength, at least. Yeah, if you fight a bear and but you choose to, if you come across a bear and you play dead, your chances of survival do go way up. Like trying to fight the bear, I don't know. But also like playing dead, that's a big risk, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I'd probably try and go for the fighting. Just, you know, if you're gonna go, you might as well go out fighting. I read somewhere that if you act aggressively against them, they're just gonna run away. No, I'm not gonna try. You'd prefer to play dead. Yeah, I think with bears, they're way more of a natural hunter than us. And like, if they want to get you, they're gonna get you. I think that's kind of the end of the story. Like, there's no climbing trees, there's no running away because they can run faster, they can climb faster. Just ridiculous to try and fight a real full-grown bear. As I said, I don't think this guy fought an adult bear. I just don't see that being a reality. Just act big and widen your stance and make loud noises. Yeah. Maybe if we defeat the bear, we can get some unique abilities. Yeah, like if you defeat a bear in hand-to-hand combat, you level up and you join the bear clan. And I believe in a full moon you can transform into a bear. Yeah, if you defeat a bear, you unlock an achievement and it gets you a title. You defeat one, definitely get an ability named Spirit, yeah. Bear transformation powers, definitely if you beat the bear. Yeah. I believe if you beat the bear, he has to, you know, submit his bear license to you. Werebear Fight Club. I was the werebear all along. Yeah. But that is actually the end of my news stories for the week. I've ran out of material 1 hour into the show. But like, how was that? Was that fun? Was that fun to listen to and kind of cover as I jump through like the various stories? You want to know more? See, the problem with covering the Japanese stories in particular is that it's very difficult to get like a full picture, and the articles are so small. And when I go and try and like translate stuff, my Japanese ability is pretty limited. So getting like a full picture, that's like that is really difficult. And then also coming up with like interesting kind of memes and jokes and stories to kind of like bounce off of. So I only had the idea like a couple days ago and decided to run with it and see how this would do. This was fun though, thank you. I'm gonna chop this up and like put it onto YouTube and other bits and pieces as well. You missed a few from the start. You can go through them again. Get some practice in. Where did you join? I think you joined around the sauna, was that correct? You can talk about Japanese companies not using English. Yeah, so I can talk about my time living and working in Japan. So, do you want me to stay on my city scene, or should we move to the bedroom? which do you want to do? Do you want to stay in the city? Or move to the bedroom? Or do you want me to cover the Weasel theft one more time? Yeah, what are you looking for, Brittany? Are you looking for the Weasel story, or are you looking for the bedroom? Which do you want? Yeah. Should we try the bedroom? Weasel, you want to see the Weasel? Okay, let's do Weasel, and then we'll do the bedroom. So, a really funny story that this is literally the first story I came across when I had the idea. So, a weasel has been breaking into an elementary school in Japan to steal the children's shoes. So, and I actually have video footage, as you can see, so I'm going to play it. So we have video footage of the perp. So, here's the video, here's like a normal, like primary school. Cinematic zoom in. Here he goes. He's inspecting the goods. Second shelf, no. First shelf, yes. These like blue shoes, nah. These ones will do. These white ones, nice, perfect. And he like runs off with it. And what's really funny is because this is caught on obviously like the elementary school CCTV, and so like the newscasters go in. Imagine explaining this to parents. 100%. At least they got video footage. So the newscast, the news crew go into the school and they do interviews. I think this is like the teacher, and I'm not gonna play the audio because it's all in Japanese and there's no English. So you can clearly see like the Weasel is like picky about what he's choosing. And so this is the school principal, and they interviewed the school principal about he saw only a single one. That's worse because you've only got one left. Well, wait until we get to the end of the story. So they go and interview the school principal, and you can see he's got this sick gaming chair, which is really funny. For like a school principal to have a gaming chair, because he's got like a pretty nice monitor and like camera setup as well. Oh, I skipped the place. So you can see that they were interviewing like various staff members. Obviously, you got the principal with his sick gaming chair. And basically, he's covering like, oh yeah, we've seen the Weasel and we didn't know what was happening, and now we got this video footage, and like we called the police, and you can clearly see the suspect making off with the merchandise. And so this, so when you see this, you, based off of the story, because it's in Japanese, you don't get the full picture, you assume that this Weasel has stolen every single one of these shoes. No, the funny thing is, this was a picture in 2022. A group of weasels, or like some other kind of small rodents, actually stole this many shoes from various different apartment blocks. So, and then they collected them and they were using them to build like various nests and stuff like that, because they're stealing these shoes because they make really good insulation for the nests for like the weasel babies and stuff like that, and that's why they've been stealing these shoes. Yeah, this thing is keeping the shoe industry alive. So like, and what's funny is you can see that, hang on, if I go back a little bit, you can see that he's not always successful with making off with the shoes. Sometimes like he's like dropping the merchandise, and what I like to imagine here is the police showed up and they were like, drop the shoe now, get on the ground. And like the Weasel dropped the shoe and then like ran off into the distance. You can actually see that he's dropped some additional shoes here, which I believe is similar to when gangs mark their territory. You know, like when they put up graffiti and it's like, oh, this is specific gangland. Like this is the Weasel trademark that they leave to be like, hey, this is my Weasel theft area. Ain't no, foreign weasels coming in and stealing my gangland. And this actually leads to the Weasel distribution center of stolen shoes, where the Weasel cartel collects and gangs together to, continue their next spree of crimes. Yeah, he can get more if he survives another day, so he's just dropping the merch and running. So what's really funny about this is the police did capture the suspect. He admitted he pleaded guilty to his crimes, and then they released him back into the public so he could create more law and more crime and misdemeanors across different prefectures in Japan. But like the Weasel was released, they found where his nest was and they just let him be. But they have put in additional measures to stop the Weasel getting in and stealing more shoes. The Weasel is behind bars. They built like a little Weasel jail. And what I just find really funny is the interview with like the school principal. Like it's so funny. I just like to imagine, because he's got this sick gaming chair and like sick gaming setup, and I like to imagine that he's been using school funds to build up an anti-Weasel defense system. And like just off camera behind him, he's actually got a full 8 widescreens that is all the CCTV footage. and he's like doing that conspiracy meme, and just outside of this camera shot, there's like a whiteboard with like lots of red string of like different Weasel crimes across Japan. And he's been like tracking them down. He's been waiting for this day to justify against the PTA why he like invested all this money. Imagine this, a Weasel speech. Brothers, today we seize the shoes from our corporate overlords. Humans can't surpass us. Yeah, so I legitimately think that the Weasel shoe theft is actually a red herring. They're actually planning an assassination on this man. He's in the Weasel's crosshairs, you know? This is the secret plan. And see, like, this is the school principal's secret agent. He's a plant. He actually works with the Weasels. He's in on the conspiracy to remove the school principal to enable yet more Weasel crime. This is the Weasel DA. Weasel is with the shoe industry without a doubt. Yeah, he's been bought off by the Walmart shoe industry. The more crimes they commit, the more shoes customers have to purchase. I think we actually got in the video. They've got a screenshot of like where they buy the shoes. It's gonna struggle to find it. I don't know how we got space exploration when we're losing to Weasels. I'm not gonna find the. Well, you can see like here's what the actual shoe cabin looks like. It's blurred out to protect the shoe's identity. Yeah, the shoe victims are now in witness protection. They didn't want to be identified, so that's why the shoes are blurred. Yeah, we'll switch to the bedroom. The scare bunny didn't work. Yeah, the scare bunny. Look how scary the bunny is. It just yeah, the bunny was because the theft occurred out of hours. The bunny was like, bro, I'm not paid enough for this. I do love the idea of a scare bunny, and it's what greets the school children in the morning. So it's that funny thing of where like this is clearly like the school's mascot, which is obviously, I always think it's really cute and nice when they do that stuff. Chat is screaming for the bedroom, which in fairness I'm used to. So so here we go. Here's my lovely bedroom. Let me put my phone down for a second. Hold on. So you can get the full window view of my beautiful apartment. Even though it's winter, it's forever autumn here. I'll bring my phone up so I can see chat. It's funny, whenever I mean to use the bedroom, I mean to actually like enter the scene. So my intention was I just forgot to hide the model. My intention is whenever I go to the bedroom to actually, enter the bedroom. The art's crazy. Yeah, it's amazing what you can buy for a couple bucks online. I actually really struggled to find something to fit my kind of color scheme. I wanted to find something that's like an orange tint. No, I didn't do this. I just purchased this online. I have a few sets. Let me we'll go to the train. Hold on. So So now we're on the train. You like the train one? The train actually comes in 3 variants. I think I've got it on sunny. I think I got sunset and city sunset. And I also have, this is a funny one, and I've been saving this for like a just chatting collab. Look at this. This is me driving. So my intention is, so let me do something funny. Have I done this correctly? My intention is to do this. My intention is to do a dual kind of thing when I have someone else to be in the collab with me. So let me turn that off. Remove model. Bring in the thing. Obviously, you don't read your phone and drive like I am. Yeah, driving with hands in the pockets. So I'm clearly driving a Tesla. Yeah, got my windows rolled down, hands in my pockets, just ready for a traffic stop. Yeah, I'm hoping to do an anime chatting collab with another streamer called Astel. We're just working it out right now. I sent him a picture of this, and I was like, "This is my plan." It would be us going for a drive, and I actually have multiple car scenes as well. Let me pull them up. Hold on a second. So is it driving rural? I've got a city one. Let me change to city. So this is us driving through the city now. I think I have some more. What is it? City. What do I got? Driving. Oh, we can go for a night drive. We're gonna go for a night drive when it's stormy. There we go. So now we're by the beach. I've also got us in an aurora. We got the aurora borealis. Let me hide the chat. So we can also do this. I think I've got some more on top of that. Let me see, what is it? Driving. I've done the day drive. I think I've got a tunnel one. I've got a rain one. Let's do the rain one. So this is when let me turn chat off again. This is when people come in the car and I'm going to murder them. So I drive them into the woods. And in the spooky theme, whilst as I play lo-fi in the background as I as I commit my crime to join the Weasel syndicate. So what is it? This is my rainy drive one. And then I've got one for the tunnel. Let's have a look at the tunnel one. This is us driving. Let me turn chat off. This is us driving for a tunnel. Confession time. Yeah. I'm Dexter the VTuber. I'm getting the impression I should get a Weasel companion for stream. That's my train one. That's my driving ones. Let me show you my different train ones. So I'm doing sunset. What have I got? Sunset City. There we go. So this is like a bit more purpley, Neo. And this is meant to be like Neo Tokyo. Unfortunately, there's no Tokyo Tower here, but let me hide chat to get the full video. This is like coming home from a hard day at work, you know, going to your apartment in the city. And I've also got a rain variety as well. So, you know, when you're listening to Linkin Park, you know, coming home from school or work. That's the premium view. We gotta crop this on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know what I'd use the rainy ones for, because it's a bit of like a weird vibe. Linkin Park is love. I'd play the music on stream. Like I intended to play the Pink Panther theme with the Weasel thefts, because I thought it'd be really funny. I did a test video and immediately got copyright claimed by YouTube. So I was like, okay, well that's out the window then. I can't do that one. Oh, this is the sunny one. Let me go back to sunset, 'cause I think that's a nicer vibe. There we go. Vibe 100. Yeah, I definitely maxed out my Skyrim stats. But I'm really happy with the various screens I have, because they're pretty chill. And there's like quite a lot of variety into them. And I do intend to kind of do more fun stuff with like the model. You know, like I like the idea of like walking into like the room and doing like weird jokes like that. I need to get like some props to do like more weird, fun, streamy stuff. It's just the kind of thing of where I think over time I'd develop memey stuff. Like I might get like a Weasel or like a, you know, to like pull on screen for fun. But yeah, I'm really happy with like the sets and scenes that I come with. They're pretty unique now. I think I've still got, I don't think the music will work. But I've got my old sets that I don't really use anymore as well. Yeah, we will try more stuff soon. Yeah, because I'm going to do like... Oh, like a pet. Oh yeah, you should join the Discord. It's... I think if you scroll down on Twitch, you can see my like about, and I have all the links to the Discord and stuff like that. I can probably generate a live link. As I slowly work out how to invite. It's on Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter as well. Oh yeah, if I go on my Twitch, I'll play the video, and then the sound will come through. I should probably have that stored. I should have a bot that just says, "Hey, this is the social links." Yeah, 100%. Every follow and invite is appreciated. We're really trying to grow and do some cool stuff. I actually got raided on my last stream. I got raided and my viewers spiked like 200 viewers. But what was really funny was the raid combined with a game that I switched to on midstream. So I completed the Jackie Chan like Vampire Survivor game. So I switched to like a way more CPU intense game, and I didn't realize until after the stream that playing that game and like streaming at the same time was too much for my PC. So my model just froze up as I got raided, and to make it even worse, the game I was playing was super dry and boring. What did you miss? Not much. I don't think you got disconnected for that long. I don't have timestamps on. Yeah. So I was saying to Brittany, like I got raided and my viewers exploded and I got like a bunch of extra followers. But it happened at like when I was playing a super boring game and my CPU couldn't handle the raid, the game, and my model all at the same time. And it was so embarrassing to be like raided, and like my stuff was just like, it looked so unprofessional because my model was moving at like 1 FPS. Like if you watch the VOD, it's on YouTube as well. It looks so bad. and I got raided because I was playing a game that's full screen and you can't like alt tab and all this other stuff. I could only see the video feed of my laptop, and the video view screen is really small because it's mostly for me to like see chat. And so I couldn't see that my model was frozen, and it was so embarrassing to have such a big raid and then like just have such an unprofessional stream. But I knew like the game would be difficult to stream for my PC. I just didn't think it would be that bad. But I'm probably gonna start streaming on. So I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Monday and Wednesdays is when I stream games. I'm gonna be streaming. I'm gonna give Prince of Persia a go, the very first game, because it's something I played as a kid, but it was too hard, and I watched my brother play it instead. So we're gonna give that a go. It was actually Brittany's suggestion. I'd actually had it in the back of my head that I've been wanting to play a Prince of Persia game, because they released a new one fairly recently. Ubisoft did, and then it got reviewed really well, and then Ubisoft did Ubisoft and fired the team. Yeah, feel free to just join the Discord. I post like funny behind the scenes stuff, so you can see like the thumbnail that I produced for YouTube, and it's so cursed. And I post fairly active on Twitter or X. I'm gonna be doing that, hopefully trying to do like a little bit more, because I post like a lot of custom art that I do for my model on there. It's AI generated. I'm not as talented as Brittany when it comes to doing like art stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing Prince of Persia on Mondays, and that's probably gonna be. I saw on YouTube that people were finishing the game. Brittany's promotion, yeah. Well, Brittany is my official producer, so we should rename her to Brittany P. Yeah, I'm looking forward to giving Prince of Persia a go. It's been a super long time since I played it. I'm gonna try the emulation this weekend to see if I give it actually like a good game to stream. If not, I might move to like one of the later games. I think Brittany was saying, was it Warrior Within was like your favorite Prince of Persia game? If that just feels better to play, I might just like jump to that. Yeah, like one of my earliest streams, I played like Pokemon randomizers, and I collabed with a streamer called Moondragon, and he like started streaming a little bit, but he's not really streaming all that much anymore. It seems like, so I don't know if we're gonna pick that up again, because we did like a competitive speed run, but we were limited to Ghost Pokemon only. Yeah, you love Prince of Persia, Warrior Within. Yeah, I've not really heard from Moon. But like, your streaming is tough. You know, like, it's hard with 0 viewers. and kind of just streaming into the void. And just kind of like, you know, keeping up with all the effort of doing, trying to come up with like fun and interesting stuff to do. It's tough to be consistent on stream. Yeah, I think it's tough to be consistently chatty and not get worn down. I don't think it's difficult to turn up and play games on stream. I think it's difficult to turn up and kind of be fun and entertaining. And it depends. You know, I've definitely seen on Twitch that some people come into my stream and it's quite chatty, and like I like to engage with chat and be like make jokes, and I've seen people just like straight up leave. And they come to Twitch for like calmer streams of where it's someone who talks every now and then, and that's I personally don't find those streams fun, and so I always try and make my streams more active and more like engaging. Yeah, I make some good jokes. Some, not all the time. Go for a few. I don't have any lined up. Normally I have like a few like little random stuff like based on the stream, but I don't like drink. Like I've done my like irreverent commentary through the over the Discord. Links expired. I swear I fixed that goddamn thing. Let me try and get the Discord invite link, because it should be up and running. I set it to never expire. Unless the damn thing didn't update. Let me... I'll just copy a new invite. There we go. There's a new invite. Also, it's really hard to get followers on Twitch. Yeah, I've definitely seen that. So like my goal for this year was to try and hit... let me go to the Twitch achievements, because I always get it wrong in terms of what I think it's called, like partner, affiliate. I confuse the two all the time. More people get viewers from YouTube or elsewhere. So what's really funny is I dual stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and I actually get no live YouTube viewers. But for some reason, my VODs, because obviously it gets saved on YouTube, they seem to get like a couple of views and they seem to do quite well. And they have like 5 subscribers. And it's kind of like, I don't know who's watching them because people never comment. I never get any messages. So people are watching them. And it's kind of like, it's hard to know if I'm doing well. But yeah, I'm on my way to affiliate. I need to get 26 more followers, and I need to kind of like have a slightly higher average viewer per stream. That's good. Thanks for the link. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I've definitely found Twitch is way more fun to stream on than YouTube, because you actually have people turning up, and like random people will drop in and have fun and stuff. You're gonna hit affiliate soon. We'll see. Like, it'd be really nice to hit it before the end of the year. I don't know how realistic that is because we've only really got like a month left. I'm trying to find a Weasel emoji for to welcome you, but unfortunately I don't have one. So I'm just gonna go with the dog. Yeah, like I am trying to make the Discord fun and trying to integrate it with Twitch and stuff. But I'm just because how long have I been doing this now? I think I've been doing this for 6 weeks, and I was ill like last week. So I think for the amount of time that I've done, I think I've done 30 hours streaming total. I think realistically I'm doing pretty well. Affiliate celebration party incoming. Yeah, that would be really fun. I don't know what I would do for it. Because like one of my early collabs, I did it with a girl called Venom Vaporeon, and the day before the collab, she hit affiliate, but she didn't really do anything to celebrate it. She just kind of kept on streaming, which is fine. I wonder what I would do though. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably try and see what chat would want me to do, what they think would be fun. It'd be fun to try and do like I know that in Twitch I can play Pokemon Fire Red, and Twitch can allow chatters to interact with the game and set like additional challenges and like make it more difficult, or like randomly make the next encounter be like Mewtwo. So I think that would be fun to do, you know, a game where chat could like interact. Yeah, that does sound fun. I'll keep that in mind. I know there's a bunch of other games that support Twitch interaction as well, so I'll have a look at them. I haven't done a great deal of research because obviously it's not really viable at the moment. We've only like a couple chatters to do that sort of stuff, and it's difficult to kind of think of. Although we do like party hats and stuff, that's when I would bring in props and I'd like wear you know, like I'd get like a party hat to put on and probably do. I'd probably have like Brittany help out. Like yeah, like party decorations in the bedroom. I'd do a stream of like setting them up. That's really funny. But yeah, for like I'd probably get Brittany to help me out with doing like if I was to hit affiliate, I'd probably get Brittany to help me out with doing like custom Twitch emotes and other like things, and so we could have like a party and make it fun. I get the impression you get lots of work incoming. You'd help but no artistic talent. Yeah, it's why like if you look at my Twitter, whenever you see pictures of me, and it's not like this model, that's me doing AI generation art based on this model. It's kind of worked out. Like some of them look really cool, and I'm just doing it all on my like locally on my machine as well. Honestly, in terms of artistic talent, I'd be really happy just to have any kind of fan art whatsoever. I think that'd be really cool. I think that's something like if I do manage to grow and get like a decent audience, having fan art is something really cool. I do good thumbnails though. Thank you. With collabs, you like them. Yeah, I tend to. It's funny. When I'm doing the thumbnails, like, so I have this whole workflow where I try and make it really efficient, and normally I spend like 10 minutes on the thumbnails. So let me. If I post the live YouTube, I know you can't really see it on there. Can I post the image link direct? I imagine I can't drop images. I'm blushing. Yeah, what is it? What is it? What's my connection? There we go. See, now I can blush. I can also wink. So I can do lots of weird stuff. You can also make me confused. Yeah, I actually have a few interesting custom emotes. Oh, here we go. I'm not sure you can see this image. Is this gonna post? Yeah, so I don't know if you're able to see that or not, but that's like the image, the thumbnail that I did for this stream. And you can see in the image, you've got a Weasel, which is for it from Pokemon, with a shoe in its mouth. You've got the cheese volcano, and you've got the sauna card lady. Yeah, the thumbnails, I always try and make them interesting and unique to click on them, and maybe that's why I do get views on YouTube. One frustrating thing about Twitch is that you don't get to control the thumbnails. Is that it only takes a snapshot of your stream, which is obviously, I understand why they do that, because of the hot tub streamers have you know, they definitely do a lot of let's use the word catfishing. So I understand why you can't do custom thumbnails. But yeah, I do try and make them clickable. The thumbnails go hard. I do try and make them funny and like eye-catching as best as I can make them. And it's funny because I'm using Photoshop CS4, and like when did that come out? Photoshop CS4 release date 2008. So I'm using like a really old version of Photoshop. So you can see like the text, like it's not quite right. It's not, and like the way that I do the white outline of me doesn't quite look as good as like modern Photoshop. But yeah, I can code as well. I'm a there's no such thing as a certified software engineer, but I am a software engineer. I actually coded the streamer bot. So like when you followed, you had like that thing appear at the top with like your name just followed and stuff like that. Can I trigger this live? Will it appear live? If I can I trigger this? Test trigger. Simulate event. Oh, I don't know if it's happening. Maybe it's because I'm live. But I did that. In fairness, a lot of my coding work is also I work, so never gonna touch that again. Then you studied IT and you got an accounting job. See, what's funny? I studied English and I got a coding job. I don't think I could work in accounting. It's not. I can get really bored, kind of doing, like the same kind of like repetitive tasks, and that's kind of why I moved into kind of programming and coding. Because, yeah, you kind of roughly do the same thing, but the challenge is always like slightly different. So you could probably do a lot of coding in accounting. And what I found is, if you're just generally good with computers, people just come to you for like literally anything. So, oh, this is a story. Oh, I messed up. I had a story in mind that I wanted to talk about. So when I was talking about, you know, like the Weasel thefts and how they were breaking into the elementary school and they were stealing the kids' shoes. So I have a really funny story. So back when I worked for the government, I was working like a dual role of like data analysis and like IT. So, but part of the IT stuff, they looked after various like buildings and stuff like that. So I actually had, I could access any government building within the region. And unfortunately that meant occasionally I had to go to, yeah, so any IT problem, they come to me and they're like, yeah, hello, we do have an IT department, can you please go to them? But like normal IT departments tend to be like pretty rude. So they try and avoid them and go to like people they find like more receptive. So when I was working this government job, I had access to all these different buildings, even like locked down buildings that were like unsafe and like normal people couldn't go in them. And so this one time I got a call, and it was a call from an unfamiliar number, and I looked at the number and I looked like the registry and I was like, oh shh. And so on the other side of the phone was the CEO. And I was like, oh God, what have I done? Have I done something wrong? Again? No. And so I picked up the phone and she said to me, what are you doing right now? And it says, oh, I'm just at my desk. Is there something you need? And she was like, yes, I need you to go to this building because we've got an issue. And I was like, oh, okay, can you tell me what the issue is? And she was like, okay, I'm going to tell you, but you cannot repeat what I'm about to tell you out loud. And I'm like, oh God, it's... and she murdered someone and I'm now an accomplice. No, she said these exact words. Okay, I'm going to need you to go down to insert building because we've got a big snake that has made its way into the building and we need someone to go down and arrange for the snake to be removed from the building immediately. And I was like laughing because I was like, oh, this is clearly a joke. And she was like, no, I'm being serious. And then she sent me a picture. And it's this big king snake. And it's just slithering through the building. And so the building was like really decrepit and it's like slithering through like rubble. So I had to drive down there in my car. And I had to call pest control and wait for them to turn up. And I had to record the snake being escorted from the building. So like, the snake was removed and no police were involved this time. And so the snake was removed and he got like put with like animal control. And so like, why did I get a call for this? I was working in like IT and data analysis. It's because the IT department that I was in also controlled all of the different buildings. This sounds like a fever dream, for real. And it was actually one of my longest work days because I got the call at like 3 p.m. and I was out until like 8 p.m. And so because I was in a special IT team, we had control of all the different assets in different buildings. So I had access to literally everything. And what's cool, because obviously, as you can tell, I'm British. Because I had keys to all these buildings, some of them are like historic buildings all the way back from like Victorian era. And some of them were used during like World War I and World War II. And so this one time I just had the keys and I was trying to organize them. And I was saying to my boss, I was like, what does this key do? Because this key looked like it came from the Victorian era. I was like, what does this key do? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, how do you not know? You've worked here for 20 years. Like, how do you not know what this key does? And he says, oh, I don't know. I've not gone around trying them. And then there's like this 10-second pause, and you could clearly tell that my mindset was, I'm gonna go and find where this key belongs. So me and my boss, we went on this adventure to find out where this key worked. And it took months of me trying keys in different doors. And eventually, so when you work for the government, when it's like election time, you get access to like special vaults, and that's where like the special poll voting is like stored and stuff. And so we were helping out, and and these are heavily like secure buildings. And so like we went down to the second basement. So there's a basement beneath the basement where like all this stuff was stored. And there's this like cage at the back. It's like this old dingy prison. And we were dropping these boxes off, and I was like, wait a minute, is this where the key belongs? And like my boss looked at me and he was like, no. And so I get this like super like Victorian style key, and I put it in the lock, and like it makes this like Silent Hill rusty, you know, like triangle head noise, like as I like turn the key, and the door opens, and we both look at each other, and we're both like pogging, like pog faces, and we walk in, and it's this like L-shaped room. And like I walk in and I'm expecting something really cool, something like really interesting. We walk in, it's an old boiler room. And like this old boiler from like, it must have been like from 1900 or something like that. It just left on the ground. It was like pure like cast iron. And it was just like, we both walked in like really excited, like Indiana Jones. And we were like, oh. So we solved the problem with the key, but there's just nothing there. And it's just really disappointing. You'd love to have a boss like that. Yeah, he was definitely my coolest boss by far. And it helps that because we were doing such random stuff, like that you could have these fun adventures. It's definitely like the best office job I had. So like one of the I've got infinite stories. I'll tell you one more government story, because these are the kind of things of where you don't believe bro wanted to find an ancient vampire or something. You never know. Like, as I said, when I was opening that door, it made like the most like Silent Hill horror film noise. You like my key opening noise. So I'll tell one more story. So there was this one time where I get a call from the police, and I go through this same situation of, oh god, what have I done? So I get a call from the police at my desk, and they call me up and they're like, oh, is this such and such a body? And I'm like, yes, who it is? Yeah, yes. Let me speak like a normal person. Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to? And he's like, oh, you're speaking to such and such police force. And I like go, oh. And like the cop starts laughing, because obviously he's familiar with the intimidation that would bring. And he was like, you know, you're not in any trouble, but we've had reports of one of your abandoned buildings being broken into by a bunch of teenagers. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, yeah, that's a problem. Some of the buildings are actually pretty dangerous. He's like, which one is it? And he said it's a very specific building, and I was like, hang on, but that building is surrounded with barbed wire and like really tall fences, like it's like it looks like a Russian Soviet compound. Yeah, oh yeah, this is a legit call. And I'm like, how did they get in? How did they get into the building? Like this is like a derelict building, and it's like it's got really big railings and like barbed wire on top and stuff like that. And I'm like, so how did the kids get in? And I hear laughing in the background because they must have me on speakerphone. And I'm like, but how did they get in? Like, it's surrounded by barbed wire. The fences are like 2 meters tall. Like, how did they get in? And I hear laughing, and they're like, so we had phone calls that the kids have gotten in because they stole a trampoline out of a neighbor's house, and they used the trampoline to get over the fence and into the building. And I'm like laughing, and like the people sat next to me are like, what is going on? And so I tell my boss, and like my boss, he had like a whole bunch of work to do that day, and he just looked. I told him the story, and he was like, oh, screw this, let's go and take a look. So we got in his car, and it's only like a 10-minute drive, so this is like pretty close to where like the police department is. And we drive up, and I literally see a kid on the trampoline get over the fence, and they clear this fence, and it's like an Olympic event, and they get over the fence, and like, so we like get out of the car, and they see us, and they start running, and then, but I'm like, I turn to my boss, and I'm like, this is simultaneously the smartest and stupidest thing I've ever seen, because one, they stole this trampoline and they made it into the premises. But it doesn't take a genius to figure out that they won't be able to then get out of the premises, because the trampoline is on one side and they're now on the other side. so like, they made this plan to like break in, but they had no escape plan. So like, a bunch, like 5 kids like run off, and there's 2 on the other side. And like, so I turn to my boss and like, what is this? And so the kids are on the other side of the fence, and like obviously they've been caught, and they try and like run away, and they quickly discover that there is no escape. Like they can't then climb over barbed wire. Like that's not a possibility, and they can't really like hide in the building. So like, I called the police back, and I'm like, so I've got 2 suspects detained. And the cop is like laughing, and I'm laughing, and he's like, okay, yeah, but no, seriously, you can't detain them. like you don't have the powers to detain children. And I was like, I've not got them in handcuffs. Like, they're just behind bars. So like the police like roll up, and they're like, everyone is laughing at this except for the kids, because the kids are terrified now, because like the police come out, and you know, so like my boss opens the gate, and then the police, they detain the kids, and the kids, I believe what actually happened was there was no charges because they didn't break into the building, they just trespassed into the premises. But what happened was, we stayed with the police until they called the parents to come and like pick the kids up, because the kids had to be released into custody. So they weren't charged. They were just like detained and like giving warnings about trespassing, because we weren't really gonna press charges, you know, or anything like that. It'd have been different if they'd been doing something like illegal, but they were clearly just like screwing around. But that's definitely the craziest thing. Yeah, like, it's definitely dangerous to go and do that stuff. And I've had my fair share of barbed wire incidents. I can tell my barbed wire story of where basically I nearly lost my hand. But yeah, so well, the funny thing was, like, we had to dispose of the trampoline. And it's kind of like, well, we don't know who this belongs to. And the police were like, well, we've got nowhere to take it. We can't, like, what, are we going to seize the trampoline? Because I thought they would seize the trampoline. But no, so what happened was, we came to the conclusion we couldn't leave the trampoline there, but we had no way to transport it. But I just so happened to have an axe. So I happened to be carrying an axe for different reasons. This is when I was in the woods as part of my job. chopping down a tree. My job at the time sounded so weird. So we used the axe to chop up the trampoline. So we chopped up the trampoline. Chopping up, basically, we just slashed the whole bouncy bit in the middle because we had no alternative. And that was like my end of knowledge about the trampoline. Because we then just like drove home. But yeah, like it was a really fun job to have had because there's so much screwing around and I did so much crazy stuff. Jackie Chan. Bro, it's not IT. Yeah, it's kind of like IT and assets. And so we did so much crazy stuff. Like there was the one time where I had to work out how we got Wi-Fi into a pool. There was one time I got locked after hours in the gym pool area and I couldn't get out. And my phone had no reception. Yeah, I do know Taekwondo, and I was a national champion. Unfortunately, I don't know karate. I wish I did know karate, but no, yeah, it's Taekwondo. Yeah, it was a really fun job. We did a whole bunch of like wacky stuff because you don't realize when people see the government, they kind of see two elements of the government. They see sheer incompetence and overspending, or they see like a conspiratorial government that's working together to like keep the man down and stuff like that. But what's really funny when you end up working for the government, you kind of understand two real truths. One, there's a lot of incompetence and overspending, and two, if you think conspiracy theories are true, man, when you work for the government, you kind of really come to understand that there's very few geniuses. You tried kickboxing for a week and it was like it was done. You know Taekwondo too. It's surprising that you gave up on Taekwondo, that you gave up on kickboxing but did Taekwondo, because they're kind of roughly the same thing. You know, like Taekwondo is very close to kickboxing, as far as I would say. Biasness. Now, I'm not saying there aren't like legitimate government conspiracies. Like I know that they're gonna release the JFK files in January, and I think that's gonna be super exciting to kind of get like a real insight into that. You know, because like JFK was about to sign a bill to stop the Vietnam War, and I'm like, oh wow. Nah, the coach nearly killed me. I think I talked about this, but did I talk about this on last stream? Or was it the stream before that? Yeah, like, so when I was doing Taekwondo, because I was fighting at national level, my teacher was the heavyweight world champion, and this guy was like 6'5", and he was like 200 pounds because he was like a heavyweight champion, and because I was doing like competing at a high level, I got the opportunity to spar with him, and it was just, I don't call that sparring. Like I had this one idea that I would charge him down, and that would be the way that I score a point. It'd be the only way for me to like survive this fight. And I charged him, and he must his martial art mastery must have just been on a completely different level. He saw me coming, he like flipped and like turned, and then he like reversed, like kicked me straight in the nose. And I basically just like went straight down. And it's funny, I have memory of the second before being hit and a few seconds after being hit, but I don't remember being hit. Martial arts is fun. I was 14 at the time. Yeah, so when I say national champion, it's better probably to say I was the national youth champion of yellow belt. So it's not as big a deal as you'd think. Charge him down. You never charge the coach. I definitely learned that. Yeah, I think it's really funny because like when you grow up watching martial art movies or not really any, like, I feel like particularly men suffer from this. Like, men think that they're really good fighters, and then they get into a real fight. like I think they did some research about this, and I think they came up with a legitimate figure that the average man overestimates his fighting capability by over 400%. So, like, imagine the shock of thinking you're 4 times better than you actually are, and then like getting hit. Yeah, I kind of wish I would do some martial arts again, but it gets really expensive really quickly. Like, I remember lessons being, how much were they? In today's money, they'd be like $25 a lesson for about an hour. That's a lot of money, you know, and I was doing 3 lessons a week. So, you know, like quickly it ends up being like a couple $100 a month on martial arts. You know, and like it's very hard to keep paying that, especially today, you know, where, you know, groceries are so expensive. Yeah, you don't doubt that men overestimate their fighting capability, yeah. It definitely... Like, I was playing Karate Survivor earlier in the week, which is like the Jackie Chan Vampire Survivor type game. And it's a lot of fun, and you definitely see like a lot of Jackie Chan moves. And every single time I'm playing the game, I was like, I wish real martial arts was like this. You know, it's like 25 an hour is too much. Yeah, it was a lot of money, and it's eventually why I stopped doing taekwondo and stuff like that. And it's also because I was getting into music and playing guitar, and like there's kind of there's nowhere really like left for me to do martial arts. Like the club was kind of closing, and like competing really wasn't that fun anymore as well. And I also wasn't good enough to be like a world champion. Yeah, you're too much skilled, honestly. It's see what you don't realize is that I don't have friends. So I spend a lot of my time doing stuff that I find fun and like building random skills. And this is why I can do like digital art, Photoshop stuff, get like music stuff, game stuff, coding stuff. Is because I spend my time mostly alone. Doing like random stuff like that. See, here's the thing. It's not talent. Everything is skill based. There's no such thing as talent in my opinion. It's all time. Like, because I know like Brittany is interested in learning to code and stuff like that. And like I'm super positive about people learning to code. I think it's a really fun thing to do. But the difference between kind of coding for fun and then coding to produce something real, and that's where you suddenly, to get something real out of it, you have to put in like a lot of extra work. And I'm always hesitant to kind of send people down that path because it's a lot of work to get good, particularly if you want to get paid for it. I never realized. Yeah, I count you as a friend, Brittany. I would like to go to the US at some point because I've never been. Celebration. Is that 4 hearts? Yeah, because I think I've mentioned I think I've mentioned that I did esports as well, and I was in like a few successful teams for that. That's why like my streams are pretty varied. Like I hadn't played Valorant in 2 years, and I played Valorant twice, and once was for a collab, and I immediately just like was like gold. Oh, but you did like coding until PHP. PHP broke you. I've never done PHP. It's kind of controversy time. PHP is quite old. So I never really got into it. I was always JavaScript and that's kind of where I got like my start. Yeah, PHP is for web, JavaScript is for web, but JavaScript can do a whole bunch of extra weird stuff. Like you can use JavaScript for games, backend stuff. I swear some of the Tesla stuff runs on JavaScript. Brittany knows some C# and Python. Python's pretty straightforward. I ditched Python early on for JavaScript because I felt that Python was pretty... I wasn't happy with just the way that Python thinks. I like the way that JavaScript thinks. Which is funny because a lot of people hate the way JavaScript thinks. PHP is more like a bit like glue, good for connecting front and back end. I'd look at PHP if someone was paying me to. It's not something I'd like go out of my way to learn. It is a bit more of a legacy language now. Yeah, I know a little bit of C#. For the streamer bot that uses C#, when I've done some gaming stuff. Hang on, let me show you something I made. Let me in my game development folder. Oh, this is not organized. Give me a moment. Hold on, let OneDrive download these. Yeah, I'll have to post this on Discord because the picture is too big. I'll post it on. I should be able to put it up on stream. Give me a moment as I work this. Yes, this is some like slight game development stuff I did. Let me capture window. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. It's more interesting if I show it on stream. Oh, image. Oh, what an idiot. I was trying to do a browser. I'm nearly there. There we go. I think you can see it straight on stream. This is something I made. Because I was making like my own JRPG, and so this is kind of like a rest, like an inn, like a bar. I think it looks really cool. Oh, I should try to turn the things off. There we go. Oh, I should put it. I've got nowhere to put it. It's covering chat. There we go. I'll just rest my chin. So this is something I made using RPG Maker backing, which is kind of like Unity C# based. I think this is really cool. I'm really happy with how this looked. I spent like 2 hours on this, but I didn't go any further with it because I had other work that was like more important. But I think this looks really cool. I might come back to this. I've got it all saved. This is basically just like an interior decoration, I guess. Yeah, I really like the JavaScript syntax. I like things when it's curly braces. Java and PHP are too much effort. No, yeah, I agree with that. Java's really annoying because you have to do a bunch of... It's the same for any kind of C language. You have to do what I call the static void dance, of where every single like line you want to do, you have to do like static void over and over. There's a lot of effort. This looks great. You should try something like this. Let me pull up the Steam link for the software because I think it's really cool. Pretty expensive right now, but it is. It's on sale somewhat often. Let me paste. I'll hide the image now. There we go. Yeah, so take a look at that like development engine. They give you quite a few, like a large number of assets that you play around with. Yeah, I think like programming is really fun. It can be really rewarding. I think it's just best to approach it with like a goal-orientated mindset. Like, hey, here's something I want to build. Okay, how do I do that? Rather than just like, oh, I'm just gonna learn this thing. I think that's really difficult with coding. Yeah, I've not done much game development. I think it was like 3 years ago I tried getting into Unity and did some animation stuff with it. Yeah, that's the hard thing of trying to do like game development. Same with streaming, of where like, you know, your time is split in so many different ways, and it can be really difficult trying to like manage your time and also have time to relax. Yeah, it's available for different languages, which is also really cool. Yeah, it's probably time to call time on the stream as well. I've been going for 2 hours, and surprisingly, my voice has held up. Like, normally my voice starts to go, but I think because it's been so fun and entertaining chatting with everyone and covering the Weasel theft, the sauna card game, the cheese volcano, that my voice has just held up. Probably because I'm speaking a little bit more naturally and I'm leaning forward. But with gaming and stuff, maybe I need to like work on how I talk more. But yeah, thank you for coming. It was fun hanging out, and I'm glad you enjoyed the Japanese news reaction content. I'll be chopping it up and putting it on YouTube as well, and trying to see if like that can grow the streams in different ways. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a night for today. So thank you for coming along, and I will see you on. Yeah, I'll be back on Monday, hopefully playing Prince of Persia. I'll be trying to get that testing the emulation this weekend. Yeah, thank you very much. Take care, guys. Alright, cool. Thank you. I will see you on Monday. Bye bye. Let's all take the train home. Let me exit stage. I'll exit stage right. Bye bye.